Alrighty. Hey guys, it's Alex and sorry that I'm having to combine a 2-week video again. I am super busy. I go between school and work, I put in about 52 hours a week. That's not including time to study and do homework, and doesn't include the time that I spend with my daughter. So I am just constantly on the go. I don't have any time, and I'm in my new apartment now, which I will show you kind of around. It's a little bit of a mess, kind of putting things away and all that stuff. I don't have internet still, so I have to upload the videos at my mom's house. So anyways, this is the week. Well, I'm 27 weeks and 4 days? No, 5 days. Today I'm 27 weeks and 5 days pregnant. So this will be my 26 and 27 week update. Like I said, I apologize that I'm having to combine them. So I'm trying to think where I left off. I took my glucose test when I was 26 weeks. I took it on Tuesday, and that drink is disgusting. I hate it every time. This is not the third time I've had it, because when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had to take the test twice. So the drink is horrible. So I'll get my test results at my appointment this coming Tuesday. I am getting huge. I just feel ginormous, and I can feel my stomach just growing, and my belly button never popped out with Kaylee, and I don't know if it's going to this time. I mean, it looks like it could, but who knows? It's crazy. I will be updating you on the father, and then, I'll save that in a minute. So right now, Kendall is a little over 2 pounds and a little over 15 inches long. So she's getting huge. And soon as we have heartburn. And she's able to blink and be responsive, and she has more taste buds in her mouth than she'll have at birth, so she can taste a lot of things. She's super active, kicks all the time. Sleeping is starting to get a little uncomfortable just because I feel so huge, so I toss and I turn. I'm out of breath more because she's pushing on everything. Trying to think of what else of update wise with her. I'm doing another 3D ultrasound in, was it a week or two? No, a week or two. I can't remember. It's on the 26th, so today is the 12th. So yeah, pretty soon. I noticed the other day that I am starting to leak colostrum. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically just a clear liquid that comes out of your breasts to help prepare for breastfeeding. So that is starting. So update on the father. I really haven't filled you guys in on anything, so you don't know much of anything. Oh, awesome. I have a pimple. Sorry. I felt it. So, the update with him. Well, I think I had mentioned a while back when he was, back in December, back at my first appointment, when he was sleeping around with the girl who lived above him, and then he slept with me without protection, so he didn't really care if he passed anything. Thank God he didn't pass anything to me. From that point, I didn't really talk to him. I was very, very angry. And then I finally let it go that he was moved on already within like a day. And I was going to allow him to go to a doctor's appointment with me. And 2 days before that appointment, he decided that he wanted to get into a fight with me over text message about custody. Now, this was back when I was, I want to say 12 weeks pregnant. Like, you definitely don't need to be talking about custody that soon. Definitely not through a text message. It's not something that you would have a conversation through a text message. So, I mean, obviously I got extremely angry because here it is 2 days before an appointment that you could have waited to discuss that with me, and he chose not to. Basically, he stated that he wants 50-50. And I think the main reason that he wants 50-50 is because he doesn't want to pay child support. It's not really to be around Kendall. He works 6 days a week from, I think he leaves at like 6:45 in the morning and gets home at like 3:30 or 4. And that's 6 days a week. So there wouldn't be much time spent with my daughter. And like I said, I think it's all child support. He makes about $50,000 a year. And I make, I think, this past year I made $16,000. This year will obviously be different because I'll be on maternity leave. And he has a brand new Jeep that he pays like $650 for a month. So he is like tight on bills and he's awful with money. So I think that's the only reason why he wants 50-50. The reasons I don't think he's fit to have the baby 50-50, I wouldn't even trust him with the baby for a day. He has a really bad alcohol problem that I've witnessed. He's like a different person. Just blacks out, has no control over himself or what he says, doesn't remember what he says, and he thinks that he's fine, and he's not. He rented from my aunt, and she had to make him sign something stating that he couldn't drink under her roof anymore because it was that bad. His mother also stated that he's mean and hateful and should stay far away from it. So he just is an alcoholic. He drinks all the time. And he changes. And I saw how he was with my daughter. He couldn't stand if she cried. He would pretty much, like, after 5 minutes, go upstairs in his room and play video games for 8 hours. And he has told me on probably 7 different occasions that crying makes him go crazy. So, obviously, like, a newborn's gonna cry all the time. And I'm not okay with, feeling like he's going to freak out. Also, another reason that had kind of made me not want to have him take her is when I found out that he was sleeping with this girl. It was because I found a baby monitor in his room. She lived above him, so there was no other baby monitor in that room, in the apartment, anywhere. So it's safe to assume, and obviously I'm a mom, I know, I'm not dumb, that she left her baby, who is 1.5 at the time, in the apartment by himself, and she went downstairs to drink with him and sleep with him and had the baby monitor in her room. And I don't think that's safe at all. So it makes me think that he'll just leave my baby somewhere. So those were kind of like issues. In the beginning, like I said, this was all through text message. Obviously, I'm really angry. He stated that he consulted with a lawyer and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't talk to him for a little while. And then he had claimed that he wanted to be friends for a while. But then at the end of January, that changed. And he decided that he only wanted to talk if it pertained to do with the baby. From that point on, I didn't hear from him until Easter. So this past Easter. So I hadn't heard from him since the middle to end of January. And I hadn't heard from his mom since January 18th. And I still haven't heard from her. They just kind of stopped talking to me. Anyways, well, even before he called me, which, by the way, he was drunk when he called. He says he wasn't, but I know when talking to someone, like, what they sound like, and he was on something. But anyways, I found out a couple, 3 weeks ago, from Facebook, wonderful, that he is now married. So here I am, pregnant with his baby, and he got married to the girl he was living with, who he has only known for 4 months and had only been with for at least a month or 2. That's it. They had only been dating for a month or 2, and he's only known her for 4 months. And he's now married. And I think it's motive, obviously. He's just crazy. But anyways, so I didn't say anything, and then he texted me on Easter. Within these text messages, he claimed that he is going to request a paternity test, even though he knows he's the father. I didn't sleep with anyone other than him. He also claimed that we were never together, even though I have text messages that show that we were together, and him breaking up with me through text message. And, excuse me, I told him that's fine. He can request anything that he wants. I'm still putting him on the birth certificate because he is the father. And I asked him, I told him that I told him that I'll contact him after she's born, when we're settled in at my home, so he can come and visit. And I'll just need to know his address to send the paperwork. And his response was, well, the court's not going to recognize him as the father until he requests the paternity test, and that he can't without a doubt say that he believes he's the father, and that we'll establish visitation once the test comes back, and all of this stuff. And I was like, well, whatever, I don't even care. I was like, you know you're the father. You are the father. You can have fun requesting that paternity test. If you don't want to see your daughter until 8 months when the court's finally over, then that's your own choice. I'm not going to contact you then to let you know when I go into delivery, because you obviously want no part. And then he called, and he was drunk. And there was a lot of arguing back and forth. He didn't even want to tell me that he was married. When I mentioned that, he laughed, and he was like, and why do you think that? And I was like, I don't know. Might be because she changed her name to your last name. And he got really serious, and he was like, oh, well, where did you see that? And I said it didn't matter where I saw it. The fact is that I saw it. He claims that and he kept saying, if the kid's mine, if the kid's mine. And I think that's really weird, because why do you refer to her as the kid? You can either refer to our baby, or she has a name, which is Kendall. But he kept saying that if the kid's mine, I'll be a part of its life, and I want her to know who her mother is, which obviously if she's going to know who her mom is, then the mom I'm giving birth, then she'll be in my life. Goodness. Let me think what else. He tries to think he knows the situation between me and my daughter's father, which he has no idea. What else? I told him basically all the evidence that I have against him, which is valid evidence to use against him. And the only thing that he has, which he thinks is extremely valid in court, is that he has text messages saved from his mom that show that I have insecurities. I'm not really sure how my insecurities affect my parenting, but I'll let him believe whatever he wants. I was probably in his drunken state. But the only time I talked to his mom through text message was after he had already broken up with me. So here I am, pregnant with his baby. Obviously, I'm insecure. Your son's crazy. So that's fine. He can bring insecurities into court, and I'll just bring actual evidence. What else? He doesn't think that I'm going to get primary residency, even though I have a 3-bedroom home. I've lived 3 miles from my mom. I've been at the same job for 2 years. I'm stable. They're not going to just take my baby from me for nothing. I don't do anything. I'm super tired. Trying to think what else. So then, I told him that I want to start out, I never stated that I didn't want him in the baby's life. Not once ever did I say that. I told him that it would start off as visitation, so I could see how he was with Kendall. And then we would go from there. And I told him that we'd probably go from there once we get to court, and we'll establish something. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to just automatically say, oh, yeah, you can just take my newborn 1 week at a time. That's not going to happen. I'm breastfeeding her. And I already have that, bond with her. You're not going to just take her at a week at a time. So anyways, he still wants that. And then I asked him what he wanted, and he stated that he will be moving back to Pennsylvania. And he is going to be requesting that he gets half the year with Kendall in Pennsylvania. My state, I know for a fact, is pro, our state. I had requested to move out of state with my daughter, Kaylee, which I had been in her life for 3 years already. And I'm the mom. And they didn't want to take Kaylee out of the state of Maine. I wanted to move to Virginia. And if I were to have moved to Virginia, they would have only granted me 2 weeks with my daughter a year in Virginia. And any other time I would have had to come to Maine. Like I said, I've already been in her life for 3 years, and that's all they were going to give me. And here he is requesting this with a newborn. You're not going to take a newborn for 6 months out of the year in a different state. You're the one choosing to move, not me. So we got into an argument about that. He claims that he's going to take me to court and laugh at me and all of the stuff that he's going to take Kendall, which is I don't really think is going to happen. I'm not too worried about it. But anyways, I was getting tired of arguing with him on the phone. It was kind of pointless and boring, so I wished him a happy Easter. I wished him the best luck in the state of Pennsylvania. Sorry, this video is super long. And I just told him that I need to know which state I'm dealing with when the time comes, whether it's going to be Pennsylvania or Maine. And he was like, oh, well, I'm going to be in Maine to see the birth of my child, which now he's claiming that he's the father, apparently. Which I'm not allowing it. I'm sorry. I originally was going to, until I found out that he's married. I feel like that's morally wrong. I am now giving birth to a married man's baby. That looks completely awkward. First of all, it looks screwed up. It's so messed up in many ways. And, I don't know, it just feels morally wrong to have a married man in my delivery room watching me give birth. He had the choice to not get married while you have someone pregnant. And he chose to get married, so that's his own choice, and I have the right. It's my body. If I don't want him in the room, I don't need to, and I don't feel comfortable with him being in the room. So he freaked out, obviously, on that. Told me if I don't allow him in the room, he's going to take her, and he's going to do this and that, and then blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about his threats. He would do that anyways. So anyways, sorry that was super long. That's basically the gist of what I'm going through right now. So we're not talking right now. I'm sure I'll hear from him again, super, harassing me. Like I said, I'm not too worried. I mean, the only thing that kind of stinks is being a single mom is hard. I have to pay a lot of money. I pay $1,200 a month in bills, all on my own. On top of that, I have to save for my maternity leave. So, I've been super stressed and tired, and all that fun stuff. Sorry, my daughter's been sleeping for like the past 4 hours. Should probably go wake her up soon. I gotta go make dinner. So I'm gonna show you my belly real quick, and then I'll quickly well, actually, since this video is so long, next week I'll show you my apartment. And you can see, like, in the background, those are little Kendall's clothes. Okay, yeah. So that's about it. I'll show you my belly. 27 weeks fast. Yes, 27 weeks, 5 days. I'll show you. I have to back up a little. Let's see if you can see. So this is with my shirt on. With. This is shirt. I don't know if you can see very well. Getting huge. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it very well. Okay. So now that this video is now 21 minutes long, you probably haven't watched the whole thing, but I'm going to let you go. Bye guys, see you next week.